Welcome to MrKhanMaths, and in this video I will be looking at multiplying decimal numbers with decimal numbers. The method I will be using is the same method which I used for my video multiplying whole numbers with decimals. So let's go straight into it. For each example, I will be following my steps to success, which you can see on the bottom of your screen in order to achieve my answer. So example 1, 3.2 times 4.8. Step 1 instructs me to remove the decimals and rewrite the question with whole numbers. So 3.2 times 4.8 will be rewritten as 32 times 48. Once that's done, we move on to step 2. I'm now going to work out and solve my question 32 times 48. I'll be using the carry-over method, but feel free to use any method you like. So 32 times 48. I'm going to start off by multiplying the 8 with the 2, which gives me 16. I put my 6 there and carry over my 1. 8 times 3 equals 24, plus the 1 I carried over equals to 25. I put my placeholder here and I'm going to multiply my 4 with the 2, that gives me 8, and the 4 times the 3, which gives me 12. Once that's done, I add them together to get my overall total. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 8 is 13. I put my 3 here and carry over my 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5, and then I bring my 1 down. So the answer to 32 times 48 is 1536. Finally, step 3 requires me to input my decimal to get my final answer. I will be using my answer of 32 times 48 to do this, but firstly I need to go back to my original question of 3.2 times 4.8. What I'm going to ask myself is how many digits are after a decimal point in the whole question. So in this case, I have the number 2 here and the number 8 here. So therefore, that means I have 2 numbers after a decimal point in my question. So my answer will also have 2 numbers after the decimal point. So using my answer for 32 times 48, I'm going to count from the back and see where my decimal point should be. So I'm counting 2 place value positions, 1 and 2, and I'm going to place my decimal point in between the 5 and the 3. So therefore, my final answer for 3.2 times 4.8 is 15.36. Now moving on to example number 2, 1.89 times 2.23. I will be using the same steps to success for a question which is slightly different. So step 1, I will remove my decimals from my question and rewrite my question as 189 times 223. Moving on to step 2, I am now going to work out 189 times 223 as the answer for this question will allow me to find my final answer. So let's start off by multiplying 3 times 9, which is 27. So I put my 7 here and carry over my 2. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 2 is 26. So I'll put my 6 here and carry over my 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. I put my placeholder. Now I'm going to multiply my 2 with the 9, which is 18. So I put my 8 here and carry over the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus the 1 is 17. I put my 7 here and carry over my 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 is 3. Now I put 2 placeholders as I'm multiplying with 100. So 2 times 9 is 18. I put my 8 here and carry over the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus the 1 is 17. I put my 7 here and carry over the 1. And 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 is 3. Now I'm going to total these up to get my answer. 7 plus 0 plus 0 is 7. 6 plus 8 is 14. Carry the 1 over. 5 plus 7 is 12. plus the 8 is 20, plus the 1 is 21. So I put my 1 here and carry over my 2. 3 plus 7 is 10, plus the 2 is 12. Put my 2 here and carry over the 1. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So the answer to 189 times 223 is 42,147. Now my final step requires me to input my decimal back into my answer. So I will be using my answer for 189 times 223. Now before I could do that is, I'm going to see in my question how many numbers in total are after a decimal point. So in this case, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So therefore, I will have 4 numbers after my decimal point in my final answer. So using the answer for 189 times 223, I'm going to input my decimal place to get my final answer for 1.89 times 2.23. So starting from the back, I'm going to move 4 place value positions, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and therefore my decimal point will be in between the number 4 and 2. So the final answer to 1.89 times 2.23 is 4.2147. Finally, example 3. Again, following my steps, I'm going to rewrite the question 11.3 times 5.54 without any decimals. So my question will now be 113 times by 554. Moving on to step 2, I'm going to work out the answer to my new question. So setting up the question 113 times 554. By doing this, it will help me get my final answer for my original question. So 4 times 3 is 12. I put my 2 here and carry over my 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. 4 times 1 again is 4. Moving on to the tens, I put 1 placeholder here. 5 times 3 is 15. I put my 5 here and carry over the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 is 6. Then 5 times 1 is 5. Moving on to my hundreds, so I put 2 placeholders in. 5 times 3 is 15. Put my 5 here, carry over the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 is 6. 5 times 1 again is 5. Now I'm going to find my total for this question. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 5 plus 0 is 10. So put my 0 here and carry over my 1. 4 plus 6 is 10. Plus the 5 is 15. Plus the 1 is 16. So put the 6 here and carry over the 1. 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus the 1 is 12. So put my 2 here and carry over the 1. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So the answer to 113 times 554 is 62,602. Finally, step 3, I'm going to use my answer to 113 times 554 to help me get my overall answer for my original question. In order to do that, I'm going to count how many numbers are there after a decimal point in my whole question. So I can count 1, 2, and 3. So therefore, that means there are going to be 3 numbers after my decimal point in my final answer. So using the answer of 62,602, I'm going to count from the end 3 place value positions, 1, 2, and 3, and therefore my decimal point will go in between the number 2 and the number 6 like that. So the answer to my original question of 11.3 times 5.54 is 62.602. Now, having watched me work through my examples, I'd like you to have a go at some Mr. Khan's skills check questions to see how you get on. Here are Mr. Khan's skills check questions. Please press pause and have a go at the questions on your screen, and press play when you're ready for the answers to be revealed. Here are the answers to Mr. Khan's skills check questions. Check how you have got on by marking the questions you have done. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye for now and see you again soon.